Look what I made. I made a box. And to most of you, it's just, it would be just a box. But this box is an interesting box for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's very square and straight and true. It's made of aluminum. It's welded together. This piece is only tack welded right now because I have to look into something before I continue welding it. But this is very heavy, very sturdy, quarter-inch thick wall, 3/16 inch top. This alone is very sturdy. This is going to be designed for mounting control boards and other kind of electronic components too. This will be a base for something probably someday. This box here, the main box of it, is all TIG welded together aluminum, 1/8 plate. I figured out my problem with welding TIG or welding aluminum, and I solved it. And now I'm confident that these are pretty decent welds. I'm going to clean this up and polish it and do all that kind of stuff. So what is it? Well, what it is a battery box. I'm building a power. Here, let me back this up just a little bit. I'm building a versatile sort of power supply unit. So this is going to house all of these 4 batteries that you see here. So what I want to do before I put that in, I'm just going to kind of show you a mock-up of what it's going to be. I'm putting a rubber pad in the bottom, just so that the plastic of the batteries don't kind of rattle against the metal, take up any imperfections there might be. So these 4 batteries will mount inside. And if you look down, there's quite a bit of room around. I got about 6 millimeters of space around each battery. Right? They're not jammed in tight, touching each other. There's a little bit of space in between. Anything I've heard about lithium-ion batteries is you need to keep them cool. So I have on purpose put a little bit of space between all the batteries, or allowed some space between the batteries, and I think I'm going to use like vinyl tubing or something to build a gasket to hold it all in place. This turns out to be about the right size. So I'm going to see if I get some elbows around here and some T's, and I'm going to build a gasket that sits down between those batteries and allows them all to sit, very equidistant apart from each other inside. So to keep it cool, I have a couple of these fans kicking around. I would love to mount a fan at each end, one blowing in and one blowing out, and then have a temperature sensor inside, and I have the Arduino on board, so I could monitor the inside temperature of the battery pack. And if it starts getting too warm, I can have one or both fans turn on. I think these are a bit big. I think this is way overkill. I don't think it's going to get that hot. I would rather have a couple of small little, these are probably 3-inch fans, probably. I think they'll be too noisy, too big. I just happen to have them, but I'm going to look for something else. Maybe a couple of fans here and a couple of fans, like little 1-inch fans, 2 going in, 2 going out. And then I think by using this tubing, I can direct the air kind of as a path through the batteries, build kind of a maze. And this will help hold it in place, and it'll help guide the air as well. So then, on top, or what I would also love to get in here is this is the battery charger for the whole thing. Okay, so this is the battery charger, but I have a feeling, this isn't very heavy. I have a feeling it's a big empty box. So I'm going to take the guts out of this, and I'm going to see if I can get this to fit in here, maybe even on the bottom of the lid, right? So that it becomes now. This is one complete package. I can pull it out of the vehicle, take it, plug the box into a wall someplace, and then it would have this type of connection. Anderson plugs, right? So these things here, the colors and sizes kind of matter. I have to look into what color I should be using. I have these; they're handy. This is not a commercial vehicle, so I don't have a problem using these. And I have a couple different versions of them, so I would love to use them up. So these things are great because they will unplug the battery out of the vehicle, so I can actually take this whole box out, and because I've got this plug, take it over and charge it because I want to build this inside, build the battery charger inside it, and then of course the lid will go on, and then they'll be either strapped in or something. I think this will be fastened on top so that you reach in, unplug it, maybe on the side. I don't know. I think it would look better. Maybe it would stick out the front, so you would pull this plug and you pull the battery out. Not sure yet. I want to get the battery secure. I want to get it polished and cleaned up and very pretty looking. Very proud of this thing. I went from being very frustrated with welding TIG aluminum to really enjoying it. It's a bit resource intensive. My problem was I didn't have enough gas going down on this. So I had turned up the gas flow going to the weld, and it made it weld much better, but I burned through a whole bottle. Like there's like $50 worth of argon in this thing. Or there will be by the time it's all welded on the outside. So I'm going to burn my whole bottle out. So I want to look into a more economical way of welding. If this is going to be the cost of this kind of welding, then I need to think about it. This box could get expensive. I mean, it's a great box, but it could get expensive. So I want to show you the one thing though. The trick to building this thing so square and straight, and all these corners so square and straight, was a tool that I found at a local swap shop, a local kind of used tool place. And it's this thing. I have never seen one of these before. This thing is a heavy-duty 90-degree. This thing is all cast iron. It's got pivots that go this way, pivots that, and it spins. So you can clamp this. I mean, it's supposed to be bolted to a bench, but I just clamp it to a bench because it's so versatile. I want to have it wherever I need it. So this thing, because of this one tool, the accuracy of the lid fitting on that box is amazing. And it's fun being able to work in that kind of accuracy that I've never been able to do before because I didn't have a TIG welder and I didn't have one of these. So that's I'm going to put the box together. When I'm done, it's going to be probably 2 cables coming out to a plug. I would love the master switch to be on here, but I think it has to be on the vehicle itself. So I think there's just going to be a plug coming out of here, and hopefully the place for the 110 volt plug for the battery charger, so that I can just plug this into the wall. And anyway, I'm going to take this apart and find out what's inside.